find a way past in the Toro Racing Porsche, so the road became rather blocked, and we had to interrupt things. But this promises to be the perfect way to round out the day. GT cars, the fastest GT cars that we've got, being driven by proper drivers on a truly proper circuit. And there, Mauro Engel and Alexandre Imperatori. Engel the fastest, Imperatori second quickest out of Q1. They're lined up in the order of how they finished the first session. But for 20 minutes of drama with ground-shaking cars, and to round out a day where, thank the Lord, there hasn't been a single track limit message on the screen, we're good to go.
We are, and Mauro Engel leads the field out in the Mercedes AMG, the 77 car. Alexandre Imperatori, who topped the times in Prix Practice 2 at the end of yesterday. What a glorious sound. What a glorious opportunity for a photograph for the many, many people that were lining the side of these incredibly impressive dream machines here at Macau. It's a dream circuit, they are dream cars, and we've got dream drivers as well. What more could you ask for at the end of day 2 for the 69th Macau Grand Prix here on the Gia circuit?
Just close your eyes and listen to that. Don't close your eyes and have a nap, but just close your eyes and listen to the sound, because every engine note is different. And this is one of the beauties of GT racing, that the cars not only look fantastic, but they all sound stunning as well.
They do. That's Mauro Engel in the Mercedes AMG. As you would expect, they are straight on it out from the assembly area. And, to complete a really quick out lap means that the initial fast lap that they go for could well be one that stands for the duration of the session.
But isn't it fascinating to see how pro drivers, and we touched on it in Q1, how they go about work here, because they have a program, they know exactly what to do. Right, so out of the pit lane, first up, get the brakes, get the tyres up to temperature. So start to work the car, get the temperature into them all the way around on that out lap. Then go for your first lap time. You're still bringing things up to temperature, so if there's a tiny error, it doesn't matter. Use the rest of that lap to still generate warm. Third lap, push, push, push. And then you're almost done, because that's your best lap, theoretically. But the drivers know exactly what to do. It's not a case of just drive round for 20 minutes. There's a plan.
I think we should be quiet again at Macau.
I'll go along with that.
We've seen it a few times. They slow down, they get track space, and then they apply the power. Time Mauro Engel didn't slow down too much. He was already quick out of the corner, and that means he's got no one behind, no one in front, and can really make this lap count towards the final qualifying, but he doesn't. He goes into pit lane, straight into pit lane. So Imperatori has the clear lap ahead. Adli Fong continues as well. So Mauro Engel just did the out lap, didn't he? Into pit lane. Interesting. That's the Porsche of Imperatori, topped the times in Free Practice 2 at the end of yesterday afternoon. And they are now on the first flying lap of this second qualifying session for the GT3 cars, part of the Galaxy Entertainment Macau GT Cup here for 2022. The Porsche, it does look so good around this circuit. Nimble, quick through San Francisco, up the hill, on towards the twisty section of the circuit, through Maternity, and then onto the Solitude S's.
So Imperatori then heads down the hill, chased by Adli Fong. And you've got Mauro Engel having pitted, as did Darryl O'Young at the end of that installation lap. So Mauro Engel and Darryl O'Young for the Craft Bamboo Racing team, going through their cycle. So download some data. Might even have been using that lap just to scrub in another set of tyres. We'll see what the outcome is, as Imperatori now with the road to himself absolutely hustles along. But he's not doing purples, is he? So it's a good lap, but there's another car in the queue behind doing better.
There is.
Which might be more Tara, and it might be much yellow.
It could be either of those. and the car directly behind him is Adley Fong in the 72 Hello Kitty liveried multicoloured car for this weekend.
Sorry, whose livery?
The Hello Kitty.
Oh, I'm just checking. Yeah. Right, there's Mauro Engel. New set of boots being put onto the Mercedes. And now Imperatore is starting to do purples as he comes down towards Fisherman's. So this morning he did a 2:18.2. I was talking earlier on in the day about Mercedes star drivers. One of them, Jules Gounon, is watching, but sadly not behind the wheel of the car, but saving himself for the Gulf 12 hours, we hope. We'll see you there, Jules. But over the timing line goes Alexandre Imperatore, and the lap time that he does is a 2:18.9, but it was Mortara looking good behind him, a 2:18.7 then for the Audi Avedo Mortara.
2:18.7 compares to a 2:18.1 for Mauro Engel in Q1. And that was a 25-minute session. This is a slightly more urgent session by 5 minutes because this has been reduced to a 20-minute session. Sadly, Fong. And that is Eduardo Mortara, top of the times in this session.
Now, news from people that know about these things. We talked about Daryl O'Young and Mauro Engel pitting. So when they box, that's to warm up the brakes and the gearbox oil, but not to use the new tyres yet. That's the installation lap. So that's there to try and get the warmth into the brakes and the gearbox oil. So then, when they do come in, they put the new tyres on with the hot brakes, ready to go.
I knew all of that. Of course. Good answer.
Yes, merci, Jules.
Thank you very much indeed.
Right, so there, Adley Fong presses on and is currently fourth quickest. 2:19.7 on his first lap. Somebody that's really developed nicely as a GT racer after beginning in single-seaters.
Ended up this morning third in car number 72 in Q1, and the best time for 18.4. Imperatore did a 2:18.2 and Mauro Engel a 2:18.1. 2:18.7 so far. Top of the times for Eduardo Mortara in the Audi. Second sector for Adley Fong was not too impressive. Personal best in the first sector, threading their way around Melco hairpin.
And Engel and O'Young have now gone out, so with hot brakes and new tyres, but running slightly out of sequence against the rest. So this is now going to be really interesting because it'll take them a lap or so to get properly up to speed. Eduardo Mortara, when we last saw him, Alan, at the end of Q1, was looking a bit po-faced, wasn't he? That the Audi wasn't as quick as he was expecting or would have liked it to be. But it's delivering in spades right now. So he comes up towards the timing line. He's got to get himself in the 2:17s, really, to do anything serious about going for pole position. He breaks the beam. It looks good. It's a 2:17.6. Quickest by 0.8 of a second from Alexandre Imperatore. Raffaele Marciello goes second on a 2:18.0, 0.4 back. So Lello, who was a little bit subdued this morning, suddenly goes second. Raffaele Marciello back at the races, but a mega lap by Mortara.
Mr. Macau strikes again. Headlights ablaze on the number 10 Audi down toward Lisboa, and a 2:17.6, the quickest time we have seen today for the Galaxy Entertainment Macau GT Cup cars. However, Mauro Engel has a quick lap in Q2. Took the pit lane entry after the outlap from the assembly area, and now with new boots on, interesting to see what Mauro will do, having topped the times in Q1.
Well, I'll put a fiver on the table that what Mauro Engel will do is go absolutely flat out and he'll get himself on the front row.
I won't take that bet because I'm with you on that.
I mean, that's Mauro's default mode, isn't it?
It
Absolute
really is.
star in a Mercedes.
One of the things that makes him such an exciting driver to watch.
He's had a bit of a lean year, actually, in, for example, GT World Challenge Europe. But that's perhaps down to the team he was placed with and the co-drivers he had more than his own speed. But around here, where it's just him in the car, and again, this is one of the reasons the drivers enjoy coming here, because it is purely down to them. They're not at the mercy of a co-driver. It is down to them. It's their car, their race. You can expect Mauro Engel to very quickly be challenging for pole position once again. But the Audi is back at the races, that of Eduardo Mortara.
Certainly is, down towards the Melco hairpin front as the Audi threads its way through the right-hand Cylinder, and then down the hill through Black Sands and down towards Fisherman's R Bend, and that's going to be the completion of another lap. That's the 99 Mercedes of Raffaele Marciello, and about time we saw Raffaele at the top of the times where we would expect him to be. He's won this race, of course. Last time they were here in 2019, and as Marciello pulls off into pit lane, we've got Mauro Engel top of the times, 2:17.2. So
that by 3/10 on his first flying lap is insane. That's brilliant, isn't it?
Absolutely wonderful. We didn't see the lap, but we are seeing this follow-up lap. That was the first lap on that new rubber, and as the car skips around between Lisboa and San Francisco Hill, Mauro Engel is being a bit of a star today, isn't he?
'Twas ever thus, but yes, you're right. He's about to encounter traffic, but the car dances over the bumps. You can hear the splitter dragging on the ground, inches away, millimetres away from the wall, and the car that he's chasing is another of the Mercedes AMG. Is that Darrell Young, actually, possibly his teammate? Yes, I think it is. So if there's any car that he can expect to skip out of the way if he catches it, it'll be Darrell. So Mauro Engel absolutely with that car by the scruff of the neck, flinging it between the barriers. There is Darrell Young, who at the end of his first flying lap went 7th behind Lin Kang's Lamborghini. Down through the gears, down through the gears, approaching police. And up Moorish Hill now comes Young and then Engel, who is getting closer.
Yeah, getting really close now to the back of the 55 AMG, Mercedes AMG of Darrell Young. And always spectacular, these cars around the gear circuit, but when you see them mastered as we have enjoyed today during qualifying, it's a joy to behold.
Now there in the pit lane is the Audi from the Phantom Pro Racing stable of Tao Chi. New set of Michelin's ready to go onto that car. And Darrell Young and Mauro Engel heading through together. It's a slower lap by Mauro, so don't expect an improvement. He is going to stay out, and it's worth doing that, I guess, just in case he needs to go for a time. But also now, with Darrell Young having boxed, the road is clear ahead of him. So through goes Mauro Engel.
It was a slower lap, but yeah. It's all a respective slower. It was a 2:18.2. So just one.
That would have put him third.
Yeah, just a second slower.
So even your slow lap is good enough to be third on the grid. It's quite something, isn't it? 7.5 minutes just over still remain. Why have we not seen on track Kelvin Lung's BMW M6? I don't remember that having had grief in Q1, but it's not been out. So clock ticks on down. It wasn't that quick a car from memory. It was the slowest by about 10 seconds, yeah. So maybe it had something mechanical.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a tricky day, I think.
Yeah. So Mercedes AMG faster by 0.3 of a second.
Mortara has been into pit lane. He's on pit lane out, and so too has Marciello. This is a great session.
Oh, isn't it? This is what qualifying should be.
Great session.
Yeah. This is where you're seeing drivers at the peak of their game, absolutely on it for an absolutely demon lap. You've also just seen Alexandre Imperatori going on to a new set of Michelin's. He's down to 4th in the times ahead of Frankie Cheng's Audi. There it is, number 1. So Frankie Cheng Kong Fu, but Frankie Cheng, as he has raced in Europe, comes down to the Melco hairpin, down through the gears, swings rather wide through the corner, but he's able to get the car to bite and drag him out the other side. Right, Marciello is back out, isn't he? So Raffaele Marciello, number 99. The next one to watch. It's
going to be interesting, this, because the election for Mauro Engel to just do the outlap at the start, and so puts him on a slightly different strategy to the likes of Eduardo Mortara and Raffaele Marciello. So I think the excitement is going to run right the way until the checkered flag for this, which at the moment it's on course to run the remaining 6 minutes. Let's hope so. This has been a wonderful session to enjoy.
Yeah. We said it was the perfect way to round out the day.
Yeah, we did.
And you know the other nice thing about it? Because the light's starting to go and the headlights are having more of an effect.
It means something, doesn't it?
Well, it's a bit sort of Spa 24 hours-ish in a sense, you know, with cars in fading light. There, weaving around to generate more warmth in the tyres is Eduardo Mortara, which means that the 4 times winner of the GT Cup and the double Grand Prix winner is going for another time. And here he comes now across the line, pulls the trigger, fires it onto another lap. You've got Engel at the top, you've got Mortara second. The gap between them is 0.336 of a second. And this could be Mortara's last shot at pole.
This could be incredibly impressive if he can do something about the 2:17.2 that Mauro Engel has posted in Q2 on the first flying lap after coming into the pit lane, getting new tyres on the Mercedes-AMG. This is the Audi of Mr. Macau. Eduardo Mortara heads around Lisboa up towards San Francisco Hill, turns through the right-hander, oh so close to the barriers on the inside of the corner and the exit, using all of the circuit. Eduardo Mortara is a joy to watch around the gear circuit. As you've just said, with those stats in single-seaters, in GT, he can master this circuit. New tyres on that Audi. Through the left-hander at Teddy Yip, onto the Solitude S's. Sweep from right to left and right, all the way to the left-hander at Pyle, and then up towards the right-hander sequence at Moorish, at Police first of all, and then on to Moorish through Police, avoiding the barrier, the exit of the corner. Both Moorish, Eduardo Mortara is not a personal best in sectors 1 and 2. We've seen quite a few times that might not make too much of a difference if sectors 3 and 4, but I get the feeling this might not be the one.
But sector 3 is good.
It's purple.
Which might mean that even if this lap isn't the one, everything is ready for the next lap. So let's just see. I mean, 2 absolutely demon final sectors, 3 and 4, could just tip him, as you say, back into credit, as it were. But up towards our bend he now comes. Mauro Engel is back into the pit lane, and that might be him done, because I don't think he can do an outlap on a flying lap in time now. So Mortara up towards the line. Is it going to be good enough? He comes across the stripe now, and it is a 2:17, and that is enough for pole position. 2:17.012. He has done it, down in sectors 1 and 2, but a brilliant end to the lap puts Mortara back onto pole position. Alexandre Imperatori goes across the timing line as well, but he is still 4th. So Mortara for Audi, out of nowhere really compared to Q1, is at the top.
This is a great battle, isn't it? Because Mauro Engel now has left pit lane. So 2 pit lane stops for Mauro Engel. He's currently 2nd. He's got a 2:17.2. Mortara, a 2:17.0. Sparks on the side of the cars. Absolutely superbly exciting to watch these.
Yeah. Darrell Young hasn't given up either, but he's down in 8th in the time, so he's going to have to dig deep. But he's digging, look, because he's done a personal best in the first sector. That was the scene of his big accident in the qualifying race last year. He goes through and now blast up San Francisco Hill.
And that's all to look forward to tomorrow. Qualifying races, race 1's tomorrow, and then Grand Prix day on Sunday. Racing all the way at the conclusion of this qualifying session, for it is our final qualifying session for 2022. Eduardo Mortara, top of the times. We're watching the 55 car of the victorious last year, Darrell Young, and the inaugural GT race here at Macau. Double winner, but Mortara 2:17.012. That's the car we're looking at now, heading up towards the Macau hairpin, over the painting for the bus stop there. Buses do go round that corner as well.
But look at Mortara, absolute best, personal best, and just dynamite once again here. Slightly down in sector 3. So what do we think? Can we get him now into the high 2:16s? Another 10th and he'll be there. In fact, another 100th and he'll be there, really, because Mortara right up against the concrete there. Oh, even the wall moved back. Down towards our bend it comes. The Audi then looking quick, and Mortara aiming for a 2:16. Look at the clock counting down. 13, 14, 15, up towards the line, goes through, and it is a 2:17.0. Misses out by 5 thousandths of a second.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. That's consistent lappery, isn't it?
Is it ever?
So Mortara, top of the times at 2:17.2.
He's not given up.
No.
He's still pushing, still
Hooray.
pushing.
We've only got 30 seconds left on the clock. Daryl Young makes up 1 place. He's up into 7th position now. We're sticking with Eduardo Mortara.
And he's got to push because Engel is out there and he needs to be able to respond.
So Engel's last lap was including the pit stop, so
yeah,
he's out onto the circuit.
But Mortara, another purple in sector 1, so we might yet get the magic 2:16 here. He has not done yet. The checkered flag is out, so yeah, see the marshal with the flag, the checkered flag being waved, then the session's at an end. But Mortara with a car up the road that might just impede him, flicks it away from the wall, darts through the S's, heading to the end of. And is it going to be green? No, it's going to be purple. Whoa! Eduardo Mortara, 2 purples in the first 2 sectors, heading up to the checkered flag. He's already the fastest. What a way to round out the day.
Mortara is absolutely alight. Now there's traffic. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And that is going to cost dearly, isn't it? 2 purple sectors and then the worst possible place to catch traffic.
In fairness, I think it's Kang Ling there that got out of the way and let him go by, but that would have just cost him a fraction. So, yeah, it depends really by how much he was so good in sectors 1 and 2. Mortara comes to the end of the 3rd sector. If it's yellow, there might be a groan in the move. Here, it's yellow. So, Eduardo Mortara, in fairness, has not given up. He's not really bailed, has he? He's still charging, still pushing.
If he gets a good sector 4, this could be impressive. He only got a purple in sector 4 on the previous lap he did. It was an incredible lap, but he was alight up until he picked up the traffic.
He's bailed.
Yeah. Into pit lane.
Oh, what a shame.
Well, thank you anyway.
Yes.
Because that was thrilling.
We knew Eduardo Mortara was a star. He's evinced it there. As the traffic pits as well, but brilliant stuff. So Maro Engel has yet to come through to do the lap. He's in before the very end, and a 2:17.294 was his last one, but there is the hero of the hour, Eduardo Mortara, and Engel does a 2:17.185. He went quicker, but not quickly enough.
So that was impressive. It was worth doing that final lap for Maro Engel.
Yeah.
But not quite enough to match. He's known as Mr. Macau. So popular is Eduardo Mortara here at Macau. Young fans queuing up for photographs and selfies over the course of the weekend. He really is, I think I said it yesterday, he's a rock star of Macau, isn't he?
Yeah, true, yeah.
So that was a really thrilling way to finish, and also a textbook way of showing that you can run a full session without stoppages.
Yes, you put pro drivers into the cars, and also not a grid full, so there's a bit of space to move around, and it makes a difference, doesn't it? But an excellent job done by Eduardo Mortara. That was worth the wait, wasn't it?
That
session's made up for anything, I reckon, to get stuff.
We both leave the commentary box tonight with a smile on our faces thanks to that qualifying session. That was absolutely superb.
I mean, they're great cars anyway, but last year's event was good for the GT cars, but this year with that international element, and it's not just that it's drivers from Europe coming into it, but they're all proper drivers as well, top draw drivers. So Eduardo Mortara doing the benchmark time from Maro Engel, and then Raffaele Marciello, all of them going quicker than anybody went in Q1. So
we watched
the grid's based on Q2 effectively, sorry.
Yeah, we watched at the end of Q1, Mortara almost going into a sort of a semi-debrief with the team, didn't we, when he got out of the car. So now the celebrations. So no conversations with team required this time. Just the applause and the confirmation The quickest, number 10, Eduardo Mortara with a 2:17.012. A tenth of a second behind. Second on the grid, provisional grid, 77, Mauro Engel with a 2:17.186. The two of them are very evenly matched, aren't they?
Yeah.
This could be something to look forward to for tomorrow for the Galaxy Entertainment Macau GT Cup.